grammar podcasts in English. So you will train your listening comprehension skills as well as grammar. So the modal verbs, you know a lot about them, you've heard a lot about them, you use them and so on, and now it's time to finish with this topic and to put all dots upon I's. So, maybe you do not know this, but English language has elements of German language, of Latin, French, and so many other languages, and modal verbs can clearly go into two categories that go from different languages. First of all, we have verbs of German origin, and we have constructions of Latin origin. And it's nice to get them into these categories because each category has its own rules, grammar, and other stuff that you can easily understand. So, German verbs are really literally verbs, while the Latin ones are, constructions that use normal verbs. German verbs have their special rules and special grammar, while the Latin ones have usual ones. According to these, since they are usual ones and their rules applied to them are also usual, they have no problems with different tenses like future or past. That is okay for them. But here, original German verbs have problems with using them in past and future. Some of them are okay with past, some of them are not, but future is a problem for all modal verbs of German origin. Some podcasts ago, long time ago on the pre-intermediate probably level, I called these modal verbs and modal construction. Now I'm proud to present the upgraded version of that. So, you know everything about modal verbs, so let's just revise and classify everything. Yeah, you know the must, that is originally müssen. You know can, that is originally können in German, I mean. I also know should and may. These are the four main ones. And you probably heard about ought to, though we do not use it in modern language. Yeah, you probably know about, B2 is not already here, so I'll try it now. So, past, for example, it's the most typical example of all this stuff, because it doesn't have future form, it doesn't have past form, and it always plays its special role, the role of auxiliary verb, in a sentence. Of course, it is analog, is have to, or to need to, and that is typical for many other languages. For example, in Italian or Spanish, they have the same construction. They would have in, for example, Spanish is completely different verb. The construction tener que, that means have to, literally, has absolutely the same meaning. And here the grammar is extremely simple, as the grammar of the verb to have. So how do we use to have in negative sentences? We say don't have. How do we use have in questions? We ask, do you have to? That's it. How do we use have in future? Will have to. How do we use have in past? Had to. So no special rules. Everything is absolutely usual. So even a person with a beginner level can use these easily. Can, it is to be able to. Many people, even upper intermediates and higher, make mistakes thinking that able is a verb. No, it's not. Be is a verb here. Yeah, while able technically is just an adjective, meaning that it goes only with be. So some people say like I able to or she will able to. No, she will be able to. And the same thing. How do we use be in future? Will be. How do we use be in past? Was. How do we make questions? To be able to becomes are you able to, for example, and so on. Alright, what about should? Well, you know this is a recommendation, and there is no analog here for should. Maybe slightly ought to, but I doubt that you really need to know that. May is usually used in its German version, but just in case, you always have this to be allowed to. But really, this is used not very often. So that's it. That's the main thing. What about the past and future for these verbs? So you must remember that first of all, they play a role of auxiliary verbs. So we cannot say like I don't must. We say I mustn't, and so on, or shouldn't, or whatever. So we don't use do or something like this with modals. As well as we do not use to after modals. So literally or usually we say like I want to go, I like to drink. With modals, I want to remind you, no to here. So here we have it in all the constructions. Yeah, to have to be able to, and so on. I'm able to drink, I'm able to fly, I have to go, and so on. Yeah, here I must go, I can fly, and so on and so on and so on. Okay, so about the future, that's pretty simple to use to say this in future. Ta-da! Welcome to the Latin version. That's the only variant because I believe that while British were trying to steal the grammar of modal verbs from Germans, they met some problems and they were able to steal only the present version of the verbs, and so that's why we like the other forms. So as well as with past. But about the past, we have two different ways to describe it while we're speaking about this. So with can and may, we have their past versions like could or might. You probably know this as well. But we also have special construction to speak about not real past. It is, we have captain obvious, and also maybe you haven't heard about this, lieutenant you should have. So, how do we say or speak about this? So when we have some, let's imagine this line represents time, and this is our now, and somebody says like, I'm late, or something like this. We usually describe to this person the alternative reality of his past. And, well, for example, if the person is late and he's supposed to come now, but it is because he left home not on time, but like later. Okay, so this is when he planned to do it. This is when he actually did it. So, and we describe to this person alternative reality, his alternative past, that he should have left his home on time. And we use, for these constructions, to describe this past that is not real, that is, it is past, it's too late to change it. So we do it like this. We take a verb in its original form, actually I'll write here, and we add have with no changes, always careful. She should have, not she should has, and a verb in the third form. Yeah? The subject does not affect this have because it is too far away, and because the subject is like here, then it means that it is area of effect ends like here. So remember that subject always affects only the first word after it. So you should have come on time. You should have bought more vodka. For example, it's a good phrase in the middle of the party when everybody wants to party but nobody can find vodka. Or you should have invited your friends, or something like this. Or the same works with other verbs, like of course here with can and may we use their past forms like could and might. But with should and must we cannot do it, so we use them in their original forms, in their only forms, I would say. You must have done this, says a boss to his employee, after employee says like, oh, sorry, I didn't do that. Or something like, so I didn't know that I should have done this, or that I was supposed to do this. Yeah. And so on and so on. So we use this, like must have, could have, should have, and might have, when we want to describe the past that is not real, like the alternative variant of the past. But the meaning of the word stays the same. And one little hint about the pronunciation. You know that in English, the rule shorter means better is a rule of everything. So we usually pronounce this have like just of, something like this. You know, like I never seen people writing like this, but when it goes to speaking, it really sounds like this. So you should have done this. You could have helped. We might have been on time. And so on, so might have been on time, sorry. So it sounds like Russian surnames. Should have, could have, and must have. I hope that will help you to remember this. That's all about modal verbs and modal past. That was Andrew Guraev. Thank you very much.